and these are pretty strong. That's 45 degrees. How's it going, guys? Just got this package from Moyu. Not sure exactly what it is, so let's find out. Another package. Another package. So here's the cube from Moyu. I think it's going to be called the Weilong WRM V9. So they don't name their cubes by the year anymore, and they're going to copy GAN by naming cubes by their number. Interesting. But I think there should be a few versions of this cube. Hoping this one is the best one. Pretty shiny. So I think this one might be the Magic Cloves and Ball Core one. I heard a lot of ratings about this cube, and a lot of people are getting great results with this. So let's give some first turns. Whoa, magnets are pretty strong. Also pretty fast. Yeah, it's really fast. The thing that immediately stood out to me when I got this cube is these corners. They look pretty rounded if you look there, and you can look at the difference here. So hopefully there's no issues with point twisting or anything. But so far, first impressions, very, very fast. Magnets are pretty strong. Let's check out the corner cutting and see if these bigger holes are any helpful. Whoa, first off, there's really good auto alignment here. Wait, that's really good. My best auto aligning cube is the GAN 12, and it kind of auto aligns, but as you can see, when it gets like pretty far, it just doesn't want to align. Even the YS3M Magic Cloves Ball Core doesn't really auto align. But this cube, it auto aligns at like 45 degrees. This is 45, a bit less. Auto align. So I guess I can't even test the corner cutting that well. That's 45 degrees. So I'll be doing a few U moves, and I want to see how it auto aligns in slow motion. Not sure how that would look like, but probably pretty cool. So let's see if we can still try to corner cut a little bit here. And it's like really effortless. And that's really helpful with the ball core, because once you get it going, it's going to auto align. There's some spots where it's a bit harder, but yeah. And again, reverse corner cutting, like it's so hard to even get there, because it's just going to turn by itself. That's why the magnets felt so strong at first, because any move you make pretty much is it's just going to go straight back. Like maybe when there's some friction, it'll kind of stay. Oh, kind of like that. But if you hit it just a little bit, it's going to auto align. Really impressive. I don't know how I do it. Probably with really strong magnets for the ball core. And looking inside, there's some patterns here we can see on the sides. Not sure how we can see it, but some dragon scale patterns similar to the YS3. Very similar, but not identical. As usual, I think it's time to go scramble this thing up and see how well it does in an actual solve. The main thing is it feels way too fast for me right now, and even with the stronger magnets, like this is too crazy for me. So I need to slow it down for sure. And I'm sure if I slow it down, the auto alignment is not going to get as good because there's going to be more friction. But I suspect that these core magnets are pretty strong and it'll still be pretty good. So since this is Moyu's flagship, I'm wondering what cool features it has. Maybe some magnet adjustment or tensioning. Nothing too special. So dual adjustment, and I think there's no spring. That should be maglev. As for magnet adjustment, I have no clue. I've been talking about magnets for so long that I don't think I've talked much about the feel, which is probably the most important thing about any cube these days. It's pretty loud and pretty clacky, more than I thought. And it has a bit of an unstable feel because maybe it's loose and really fast. That was a problem. I was wondering if the corners being rounded more would make it corner twist more, and looks like it did. These corners are actually really easy to twist. Not really easy, but they're pretty easy to twist. Compared to the Huameng, harder. Something like the GAN 12. Like this thing's impossible to twist. And I don't want to twist it because it might break the cube. So maybe again it's loose, so I can fix this, but the corners seem really easy to twist. Hopefully that doesn't happen much during solves. So I do want to compare this cube with a few other cubes. First off with the Huamengs, which I think is probably the most common comparison because these are both released this year. The Huamengs have a more solid feeling, more stable, and they're a bit quieter. This cube, way faster, and it feels more unstable, and it has more of a louder feel. The GAN 12, its auto alignment is definitely better, as you can see here. The GAN 12 has a more stable, softer feeling, but there are some similarities like the stronger magnets. For Tornado V3, this cube's ball core, again, is not that strong. This has a really enjoyable, softer feeling, which is really quiet and high-pitched. Well, this has a more lower-pitched feel, a more crunchy feel. And lastly, for some RS3s by Moyu, the Super just feels stable and quiet, And this one's ball core is also not that strong. I think if there's any comparison, it's maybe with the RS3 M2021. This cube was out of the box pretty clacky and fast, which is pretty similar to this cube. Fast and clacky, but over time this has gotten really smooth and stable. Hopefully this has some potential, even though it's a bit too fast for me. As for the price, this thing I think is a bit more expensive than the YS3. The base version is around $17 I think, and this version is around $40, so a pretty big increase. And since I don't have the other versions, it's hard to compare them, but with this cube, I think it's really good. I want to take a look at the mechanism to see how it's auto-aligning so well. Immediately interesting, the edges have magnets, similar to the GAN 13. The corners also have magnets. Let's take out more just to see the core. It's hard to see because if you notice the core, I don't think it has any magnets on it. It's actually inside, so it's hard to tell. There's definitely magnets in between the edges and corners, as you can see. And there's definitely magnets for the corners because there's these magnets, homes to the middle, and these are pretty strong. The edges, there's magnets on these too, but I don't really feel it as much. I'm not sure what these magnets are for. I'm wondering if they have a really similar mechanism with the GAN 13, where the magnets actually repel the corners. Because if you notice here, it has a bit of resistance. And these magnets, one for the corner and one for the edge, they attract. Whereas if you take two corners, they repel. Which means that these are actually opposite polarities. So I think I'm right, the edges are actually going to repel from the corners. Now I'm not sure how I feel about this, because the GAN 13 made this mechanism, and that cube doesn't do as well compared to the GAN 12. And a lot of people think the reverse polarity makes it more unstable. It's not that strong. I can't really feel it that much. Only like a very slight resistance here. I'm hoping this is not going to make this cube too unstable. But I guess while we have the cube apart, let's set it up. So this cube is really fast, so I do want to slow it down with some heavier lube. Thinking a bit just around here. Maybe some here. Maybe some here. You can already feel the cube getting more smooth, and it's so much more controllable now. It has, yeah, a bit of a crunchy feel now. And auto alignment is still pretty strong. It's not as strong as before because it's more friction, but still pretty strong. Center solve. I think it's better, but it's still a bit loose, so let's try to fix that up. Half or a quarter turn on each side. Let's see how that turns out. I think that's better, but maybe it needs a bit more. That's better, and alignment, it's a bit slower, but it's still there. Now that's set up and it's getting a lot better, I think we can finally do some solves on it, and I'll get my final thoughts at the end. So overall, I'm liking this cube a lot. I've gotten a lot of questions about what to compare this cube with, and I think the best one is the GTS3. It's pretty fast, flexible, and has pretty hard plastic, giving it a very unique feel. I think a lot of people would enjoy this cube, but personally, I don't think it's for me. It's a bit too flexible, and even though I slowed it down and tightened it, I think I prefer the more stable cubes out there, like the YS3M or the GAN 12. But if you think you would enjoy this feeling, I would recommend this cube because the magnets are actually really good. It's up for pre-order right now on the Cubicle, and you can use code CM for 5% off your order. So that's it for this video, and thanks for watching.